Hello everybody, JohnnyJans here, outside Universal Islands of Adventure, and I welcome you all to day number 75 of this thing that I'm doing. Now you're probably wondering, just why the heck am I laying on the ground here outside Islands of Adventure? Because I'm going to take you inside today, and I'm going to show you the different groundwork that are particular themed to each island. So, without further ado, I invite you to head on inside and join me for some meandering around. Starting off in Islands of Adventure, where the adventure truly begins. But I'm not looking up here, I'm looking down here at the ground. And here at Port of Entry, we got some fun looking tile work that seems to match not only the trash cans, but the overall aesthetic around and the encompassing buildings. Making my way just at the end of the Port of Entry before I start my adventure into the islands today. This is my last piece of tile work. And again, not far from that is a garbage can. So it's still matching. And now we're beginning the real transition into Seuss Landing. And as you see, things are already getting crazier on the ground. No straight lines, so it fits the theme of Seuss Landing. And it's gonna cause this wonky, zigzaggy trail. Very Seussian. Heading just outside of the zoo area for the groundwork, we have some fun footprints of a creature that has recently walked through, and I think he ran away into the zoo right there. Maybe it was that tiger that escaped right here, I don't know. Checking out more strange footprints and groundwork here in Seuss Landing, we have more tracks that are leading just outside of the Seuss Trolley train ride area from the ground. I bet these are sneetches. This must be a sneetch type footprint here to head all through the groundwork. And look, it crosses right along the main path. What a fun feature. Where are they going, do you think? Let's see. And we're following it, and the tracks seem to fade out right here into Mulberry Street store. So maybe they went back up on top. They have a whole village up there that you see from the Seuss Trolley train ride. Located in one of my quiet spots here outside Seuss Landing, check out this groundwork right here where the kids are enjoying. You know why? Because it's soft and rubbery right there. So they're not gonna fall and get hurt. But look at the fun designs. Now, as the silliness and spiralness of Dr. Seuss ends, we are leaving Seuss Landing and we cross this bridge, and you notice the wooden planks are gonna set us up for that wonderful theming that is the Lost Continent. And the ground transitions to a very gray, hard rock work structure. You can see my friend here as he greets us, raining his fire from above. And the theme for rockwork seems to continue all throughout the ground here, and it looks very Stone Age-like and mythical. Oh, as we go deeper into the Lost Continent, the stonework changes to almost a coquina base shell experience here that you would find along a beach. And that is because we are rearing around Poseidon and his fury here at Poseidon's Fury. So as we come close to the sea, our floor has changed and our walkway path has become more seashore-like as we get closer to the Poseidon's Fury. It's a real shell of a good time. Little Ninja Turtles reference there for you. Meandering to the end of the Lost Continent here, we're gonna see another groundwork shift because we're gonna leave the cracked stonework of the Lost Continent and the more, I guess I would say, smooth and not cracked floor of the Wizarding World. Very smooth. And this is so here we go. We just transitioned into Wizarding World type floor right here. And it's a lot smoother, a lot less cracks anyway. So I'm not in the Wizarding World just yet. I'm right before it, right at the gates. So as you notice, this smooth street is gonna turn more into a very polished cobblestone street as we cross over right here. And it looks really nice and elegant here at Hogsmeade. Very smooth, very street-like. Look, we got a sewer grate right here. We got a sidewalk, if you will, along the shops right there, and then it transitions into a street. So it feels like you're in a small town when you enter Hogsmeade, which is correct because Hogsmeade is like a small town. So there you go. Entering into my most favorite area, Jurassic Park. We got 3 fires today, not quite 4, but looking on the ground, we're gonna enter into some jungle groundwork, so expect to see some fossils. One right here, oh my gosh. We got fern fossils of local plant life. Isn't that cool? Making my way down to where the Velocicoaster is right now. Let's see how much the groundwork actually changes for this new attraction they added. Right here, there seems to be a little bit of a shift here to some more solid, polished looking pavement. Not so many fossils as the entrance to Jurassic Park. And then again, because this is Jurassic World and it's a theme park in itself, we're gonna have way more, not decorative, but way more polished sidewalks and walkways as if you were actually in a theme park that's new. So no more fossils, no more rugged rock work, just very smooth as if you were pretty much walking up to a roller coaster, which you are. And Velocicoaster is only 45 minutes today. That's the lowest I've actually seen it in a while. That's awesome. Here's some more basic looking groundwork in front of the Velocicoaster that you would expect to see probably in a theme park. As people are walking over right now, they're failing to recognize there's a giant leaf fossil right on the ground. This is like the biggest leaf fossil that I have ever seen. It's like Jurassic-sized fern right there. And as we leave the groundwork that is Jurassic Park, we're gonna cross into a more silly world of Toon Lagoon. So let's see how it transitions on the ground to dictate that. So far, it still looks like Jurassic Park kind of theming. We're almost there. It looks like Toon Lagoon starts right on the dock, and it turns into this multicolored dock a little bit, which is kind of reminiscent because you're gonna get wet in here. So it makes sense that you enter on a dock, doesn't it? And then getting off the dock now, we transition into a more smoother surface for Toon Lagoon. Not very iconic or thematic. Got some cracks in it, but I guess all cartoons have little cracks in it too sometimes, right? I don't know. Now, of course, the most epic groundwork for Toon Lagoon exists right in front of the sign where we got this water feature and this splash of water on the ground. It all comes together. Actually, the circling blue kind of parallels the artistic look of the Toon Lagoon sign. It is a thought bubble, that's right. It's all one giant thought bubble because Toon Lagoon is a comic strip. Is that the color schemes really continue from the comic book that it's talking about. I mean, you got Boris back there sneaking around planting a bomb, and there's the bomb, but there's the explosion on the groundwork. So see how it matches? Check out this rock work really matches the entrance to Sweet Haven, which turns into another dock right there. Looking at this guy camping out in front of a military tent here, you can see the groundwork also matches the camouflage of the tent and kind of brings the whole portrayal to life. Over here by Flash Gordon, it's got an epic explosion from his rocket that's carrying off right here. So as the rocket's blasting off, the explosion and exhaust overtakes the front, but it also affects the groundwork right here, and it's a part of the whole aesthetic. I love the theming. There is something very cool that here is at Toon Lagoon, is the one almost map-like comic book strip that takes you across the floor right over here. See? And Billy leaves his note to his dad, but I love how the trail comes off the pages and it becomes part of the groundwork, and you can follow it throughout Toon Lagoon through the dog fountain where the dogs were let out, past this fire hydrant thing, across the way, all the way over here. Still following the trail, trying not to get wet. We turn back around. We're gonna cross the path again. We're over here just by Benny Boop. Look at the heart on the ground for Benny Boop. That's cool. And we end up right here with Billy's family. Is that awesome? I love it. So there we go. Toon Lagoon is not as without theming on their ground as I once thought. You just have to go a little deeper and find the interesting groundwork. Following just behind Dr. Doom and the Green Goblin right here, we are entering into Marvel Superhero Island, and you notice the groundwork has changed to a more cityscape because this island is streets of chaos and heroism. And here is the emblem for Marvel Superhero Island. That's how you know that you have stepped into the action, onto the mean streets. Look at this giant whoosh sign that leads you into the comic store right here, where you can see all those awesome collectibles. You get in that comic book mood because you got comic book language. Looking right over here at Iceman, if you scroll on down, he's got his own unique groundwork where the ice has shattered around him and it has built up, and he has broke through, blasting away. You can see the warning paint has been put down for the superheroes on the ground. This was the starting spot where the superheroes would arrive on those ATVs back in the day, and they'd ride on down the street to go greet the people. Here's some more extreme groundwork happening in Marvel Superhero Island underneath this obelisk that is literally blasting off into the sky, full of Marvel comic book characters. But look at the bottom, it's a cloud of exhaust. That's how you know it's blasting off right there. And the overall land has to have bright groundwork because you've stepped into a comic book. So you're gonna have things literally jumping off the pages of color and action. Here's something I never noticed over here by the Spider-Man attraction. If you look on the ground, there's Spider-Man's face. It's right there at the entranceway. And over here by Store and underneath Wolverine as he ushers you in, look at the groundwork here. It matches his costume, and it's a giant Blast logo or some kind of shield emblem thing, but it looks cool. Well, there it is, folks. A look at the wonderful groundwork that is provided to you here at Islands of Adventure that you may have not stopped to look at because sometimes it's just too crowded. But that's going to do it for me. Until next time, probably here at Universal, I'm JohnnyJans, and as always, I'll catch you out there meandering around. So walking on the bridge, just exiting Marvel Superhero Island and on my way to Port of Entry, you can see the remnants of what looked like a design maybe at one point was here, and maybe they took it off like it was a decal, because just how it's arranged, it is a bunch of rock work, little stones that are making this seem to be designed here. So I don't know if this used to be something, but it is interesting as we cross the bridge. I think it was something long ago. I don't know, maybe you could tell me in the comments if it was.